Start the recording. All right. Welcome to XdHacks Mini at ISEF 2022, the first event. It's on effective team dynamics, how to get the best from your teammates. And the presenter today is Professor Mary Lynn Ralph, material science professor at Georgia Tech, who will be talking about how to work in teams effectively. She founded the Effective Team Dynamics Initiative to help work with university students and professors to enhance team dynamics at a high level. As you will be put on a team with people you have never met before, this workshop is integral to your success. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Ralph, and she will take it away. And if you have any questions, again, you can put it into the chat or on the Q&A, and then we'll be happy to answer them.
Thanks for that introduction. Can somebody give me a thumbs up that you can hear me? Awesome, great. So welcome everybody. I'm glad to hear that to see that there are people from all over the world joining us, even someone in Ukraine. So welcome, Sophia. And we're going to talk about the Effective Team Dynamics project a little bit, but really what we're going to do is we're going to give you some actions to take to make sure that your team can work effectively together at the mini hackathon that you will do on May 12th. So first, I wanted to kind of get an understanding of where you guys were. There's 350 of you who've signed up for the mini hackathon, and about there are 5 students in each team. And from what I understand, you already know who is in your team, and many of you have already connected with your teammates. So my question for you is, please post in the chat, I've connected with my teammates, or teammates. Oh, what teammates? Can you let me know if you know who's on your team for the mini hackathon? This is awesome. We have 3 people who've connected out of 30. Oh, good. Is there anybody who's confused about who is on their team? Oh, has not been assigned. So Calvin, can you chat with Victor? So you just instead of chatting with everyone, chat with Victor, and I think he can help you with that, or let you know what the status is of that. Okay, awesome. So most of you have connected with your teammates. This is great. What I want to talk to you about today is that you can really set up this team for success. First, we're going to look at who you are. I'm going to ask you to think about yourself and who you are. And one of the things we asked you in the survey was a little bit about yourself and how you work in a team. Next is, how do I work in that team? What do I bring to the team? When I show up a team, I have experiences, I have knowledge, I have skills, and I have things I like to do. I also have things I don't really like to do, and I bring that all to the team. Then we are going to ask, how do we team together? So knowing who we are and our experiences, how I behave in a team, then now we've got this new team of 5. How do we just bring us all together and really work effectively together? We're going to look at that. And then lastly, we're going to look at what we are doing together. And I like this, this quote, the future depends on what we do in the present. So the future of your team and how well it works together is going to depend on what you do now in the present, or if you're watching this in a video, when you have that first meeting with your team, setting that team up for success. That's what we're all about today. I should say there is a Q&A section, or you can post your questions in the chat if you have a question. Just feel free to do that. We'll also be doing a poll or 2 or 3 or 4 during the webinar. So we encourage you to be engaged with that. So one thing, Victor, can you read that from Calvin? Or can you chat him from your other computer? Maybe that would work.
Yeah, I can help that.
So getting to know your teammates will help you work better together. So post in the chat which area of science or engineering most interests you. It might be the area where you're competing at the science fair, or it might be some other area. So can you post that in the chat? Nice. Nice. As you see, there's a lot of different types of engineering and different science that you might be interested in. What we've done intentionally is actually to disperse you in a team with people who have other experiences and other interests from your interest. And so on your team, when you meet them, when you meet those 5 people, don't be surprised if not all of you are computer science. There may be a neuroscience person, a mechanical engineering person there. My background is textile engineering, so there might be somebody interested in that. There are other ways of talking about the diversity of your team and where they are. Those of you, if you didn't post in the chat earlier where you're located, please do so now. Where are you located? And then for those who already posted the chat, what time is it? What time is it? I know, Victor, I think you said it's noon where you are. So what time is it where you are right now? Oh, I was just in Puerto Rico last week. It was great, except it rained there. 10 p.m. 2 a.m. Oh my goodness, you stayed up late for us. The 2 a.m. person, are you up playing video games usually at 2 a.m. and this is nothing new for you, or is 2 a.m. really late, early, whatever you call it for you? 3 a.m. in Singapore. Wow. Great. So one of the things that you will need to be thinking about in your team is what time is it in the location. Now, I know you're going to be limited to that sort of, I think it's 12 hours, but there's a lot of information that you're going to be given at the beginning so that will prepare you for the rest of your work together. But one of the things you want to do is think about what time is it in the location where your teammates are, and that there may be time windows in there that it's unreasonable to expect a very quick turnaround from your person. And we'll talk about that a little bit when we talk about priorities. So thank you for posting in the chat. Again, we're going to be talking about a little bit about who you are, like you just did. What do you bring to the team? That's the thing we're going to look at next. So before this seminar, you did a survey, and I know the information didn't look quite the same format, but we asked you to think about what type of thing do you bring to the team? What is your job on a team when you have been on a successful team? So take a moment and think about a successful team that you've been on. Think about why that was a successful team, and then think about your role on that team. And what you'll find out when you talk to your team, your 5-person team, is that we've actually matched you on these aspects as well. So you need all 4 of these aspects to really work well as a team. You need somebody who's a detail person, systems manager, stayer. They can really get the work done and persist to do that work. You need somebody who's going to organize you. This is a very short time. You have to be really organized to really do quality work. That person can organize the people. Maybe you're the person who can organize those ideas too. That's going to be really, really important. You might have a vision. You can see the future. You can see what it's going to look like when you finish the project, and you can see all the parts that you need. Maybe you're the one who's going to really build that community in your team. Usually people talk about like taking several weeks or a month to get to know your team so that you work together. This is like really super fast. You're going to need those people who love to meet new people and love to make connections. You're also going to need a little humor in here. you're going to have fun on this project, and you're really going to need somebody who can spot the problems before they happen and can also make it fun. You're also going to have to be very creative. I know you don't know what the topic is yet, but you'll find out you need to be very creative. Who are those people who can see the problems? They can say, oh, I think this might happen or that might happen. Maybe it's a person who says, oh, like if we do that, it's going to be really bad. This could happen. Those black hat wearers. So those people are going to be really good because you don't want to go down the wrong road for a long time because you have such a short time period. So with that, again, what I said, you have people that can contribute in different ways. And what we'd like to do is now launch a poll. It should, if you're on Zoom, it should pop up automatically on your computer. How do you contribute on a team? Are you these people who do the work, the management, the creativity, or the people? What is your role? Or what role do you like the best? What is the most fun for you? Okay, Victor, can you close the poll so we can see the results? Oh, wow, we got a lot of managers here. That's because probably they can manage their time to actually get here in the live workshop. But what you'll see is there's a distribution of people, not only in this workshop, but in your team. You'll have at least one person, because you have 5 people, you'll have at least one person who's indicated to us that they really love the people part of it. They love the creativity part. They love the management part, or they love the work. So that really doesn't tell me exactly part of this work that I really like to do. So now what I'd like you to do is post in the chat those specific jobs that you like to do on a team. So are you the one that generates the ideas? Are you the one that sees all the good in the other people in your team? What other words in these boxes, in these hexagons, really speaks to you and really tells me a little bit more about what you bring to the team? Can you post that in the chat? Victor, can we try to take Jan off of mute and see if they can tell us a little bit about what they mean by black hat wearer and strategist, and that it should be linked together? Can we try that?
Yeah, let me.
Jan Heineman.
All right, should be able to comment.
Do you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can hear you.
Nice. Yeah. To those virtual greetings from Georgia, I mean that the strategist should also be like a bit the black hat wearer, because you have to think about what can go or what might go wrong if you are possessing long-term vision and goals.
Nice, nice. I like that a lot. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Can we try for Brandon, sorry, Brandon talked about supporter.
All right.
Oh yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Wonderful.
I think that because everyone has their unique ideas, and no matter what their idea is, there's always something good about their idea. So I think in a team, what I like to do is I really like to, talk about that personal idea and really merge ideas together, so that our final thing that we choose will be like in a way, the best idea we could come up with.
Nice, nice. I like that. You like to support other people's ideas and make sure that all the ideas are brought forward. This is really, really important. So what Jan and Brendan and I have just demonstrated to you is something that we would really like you to do on a team. So me just saying I'm a people person or I'm a management doesn't really tell you why I picked that word or what I bring to the team. So we strongly encourage you to share this with your teammates. What words on the screen really spoke to you about what you bring on a team or what you like. If you notice the two people who spoke, they were, to me, they were very excited and they were very passionate about what they were saying. And it seemed to me that they really understood that that was really what they wanted to bring to the team and really what they liked to bring, what was important for them to bring. So having a short conversation doesn't have to be long drawn out. It could be as short as the two that were shared with us today. That's going to really help your team. We're also now going to do another activity where we're going to think about what you bring. And for this one, you're going to need a file that I think Victor is going to post in the chat. So I'll give you a moment to be able to click on that file in the chat stream. And can you, if you're having trouble getting to that file, please post in the chat so we can, we'll know you're having a little bit of trouble with that. Okay, so I cannot see the file. Can you see the chat? Yes. Okay, if you look in the chat, there is a chat from Victor to everyone. Can you see that chat? It says one key question. Okay, great. Awesome. Okay, so probably a lot of you have already started reading this, which is really good. What I want you to do is read through these statements and see if you can figure out about 5, 3 to 5, 6, if you can't get it down to 5. What is it that you like to spend your time most? These are things you really like to do that you do on a team that really contributes. So do you like to include people who left out? So maybe you are the person in the team where you notice that Lucy has said nothing the whole time. And then we can look at Lucy and say, Lucy, so what do you think? Are you that person who naturally just does that? You want everybody to have a voice? Are you the person who likes to look at the past? You like to discuss history and its lessons. So you want to tell people all of the different projects you worked on before, different hackathons you were on, different teams that you worked with so that they can understand. Or maybe it's not your history, but history of the world. You like that a lot. You like to bring that to the team. Do you like to think and study? Maybe you don't talk as much as Dr. Ralph talks, right? You like to sit there and think about it. Maybe that's what you bring on in the team. Maybe you're that person who can be very persistent. You can keep working long hours and get that work done. Maybe you're the person who likes to meet new people. What is it that you really like to do on a team? I'm going to give you about 30 to 40 seconds, almost a minute, to look through this list and pick about 5. Okay, so I'm going to put Victor on the spot here. Victor, can you come off mute and let us know one that you picked and what that looks like on a team?
Sure. I like the one that says make work fun. I think working in a team, especially at XdHacks Mini, we like making things really fun, and like we play like team bonding things and talk about other things other than what we're doing here, and that's like how we kind of make our organization fun to work with, and everyone kind of stays motivated.
Thanks. Lucy, were you able to pick one? Can you share? Oh, we can't hear you.
Hello, can you
There,
hear
we
me?
can hear you now.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. The one I really liked was treat all people the same, because I feel like everybody has valuable ideas to bring to the team. Like for XdHacks Mini, I work on the tech team, so we are working with like a lot of different new ways to implement like the technical aspects of things. And I think everybody on our team has a lot of qualified ideas. So we should treat like all of their ideas the same. That's the one I really liked.
Nice. Nikhil?
Yes, I knew it was coming. So yeah, I think two of them that I really like is have clear rules that everyone follows, and then also coach. I think having some good management on the team, doesn't matter how small or big the team is, it's important for everyone to know what's going on and what, have like really good communication with each other, because that way I think progress is made a lot faster.
Nice. So now for the rest of you, I want you to pick one of the ones that you want to share from this list about what you do best in a team or what you enjoy most in the team. Just post it in the chat. Ooh, take on challenges. I want you on my team because this is going to be a challenge. Oh, I like that one. Think and study. Overcome obstacles. Oh, help others explain their thoughts. I need that. You have Victor, you have another make work fun. Oh, selectively distribute praise and recognition. People are too quick to point out the flaws in others, which doesn't create a good environment. I like that. That is so true. Sam, thank you for saying that. One of the things that it wasn't really part of the seminar, but I just can't not say it now because of Sam's comment. A lot of times when you're talking to your teammates, it's like, oh, Victor, I'm really glad you're on our team. And, it kind of made him smile a little bit. But if I said, Victor, it was so helpful for me because we got together earlier and we went over the polls, and I just found that you just caught on to how to do that. And it was just really helpful to me for you to do that for me. So I really appreciate that. Thank you, Victor. So, Victor was nodding. He's kind of smiling a little bit more because I just gave him a little bit more information about what I liked about what he was bringing to the team. So thank you, Sam, for that. Because that's something you can do for your team as you're working pretty intensely together. Instead of saying something like, hey, I'm glad you're on my team, just give them a little bit more, just a little bit more snippet of like, what is it that they did? They came up with a great idea that really moved you forward, or they made it fun, or they knew when we needed a break or something like that. So thank you. I love to figure out how different people can work together productively. That's great. That's going to be very useful. Very useful. So if I can get my, yes. So we're sort of moving through here, looking at how do we team. One of the things to look at is, well, what is your team going to have to be doing anyway? What are the different jobs? What are the tasks that we're going to be doing? These are some of the things that I'm guessing. And again, Victor helped me think through this list earlier. So I also appreciated that he helped me think through this. Really understanding what you're going to be doing is going to help you build that plan that's going to set up your team for success. So you're going to be gathering information and guidelines. This, I think is happening in, is it a 2-hour or 4-hour window? Victor, I can't remember what you said.
4 hours.
4 hours.
in person.
They're going to give you lots of information. It's going to be great information that you're going to need. They're going to set you up for success, giving you those guidelines and that information. Then off you go in your teams. You need to plan, you need to schedule the work. You're going to need to be brainstorming. So those people who posted that one of the things that they love is to help people think through ideas, you're going to be key in that brainstorming. Because a lot of times you can brainstorm, you get all the ideas up there and it's just like, oh, but I can't make heads or tails of this. Somebody who can bring all that together and really sort of solidify what the thoughts were together is going to be very good on your team. You're going to be sharing your expertise, skills, and experiences. There's not a lot of time for everybody else to gain all the experiences or gain the full understanding. You're going to have to bring what you have special about you to that team. You're going to be writing an argumentative paper, something. I don't know exactly because I haven't heard all the directions, but they're going to give you those directions in the 4-hour instructions, but you're going to have to make an argument of something. So you're going to have to write that. Who are the people who are, it's easy for them to write. You're going to have to divide the work. Okay. The people who talked about organizing people, those are going to be really important there. You're going to have to be checking in with each other, and then you're going to have to finalize something to turn it in. So these are all the different things you're going to be doing. Thinking about that in a sort of big picture way is going to help your team. So is there anybody out there who, like, you just think that way? You like to look at, like, what's our overall goal? What is the big picture we're trying to do? Anybody who can see all those little parts that you need to do, post in the chat if you're one of those 2 people. I hope you have at least one out there in your team. Great. Awesome. Thank you. So another important thing in your team for success is to make sure that you've agreed upon what sort of tools you're going to use. You don't want one person generating a file over here and then somebody opens it here, they make changes, and then Lucy takes it, she makes changes, and Nikhil makes changes, and then, oh my gosh, you send it back to me. I'm 57. I'm already hampered, right? And now I've got 4 different versions of the file. I'm trying to somehow get all the changes. It's like I'm going crazy because we didn't really talk about how we're going to collaborate. So lucky for you students is that this team has thought about you. So they have kind of laid the groundwork. They've said you're going to use Discord. You should all be on the Discord because that's where you're getting your announcements and your information about this event. They want you to use Google Documents, okay, Google Docs, and they want you to use Canva. So we're going to do 3 really quick polls here just to find out, like, where you are on this, knowing how to use Discord and these other things. So how often do you use Discord? You use it all the time, even in your sleep. You've got notifications, so it wakes you up if something happens on the Discord. Like, is that you? Not often, or you never heard of it before this event? Ooh, not often. Okay. Oh, you've got 21% who use it in their sleep. Maybe we need to find those 5 people and make sure there's at least one in a team, in each team or something. I don't know. Not often. I have actually never used Discord. Our students have Discord or a Discord. I don't even know the terminology at Georgia Tech, but they don't let the faculty or not. We aren't on there. They find it very useful to not have us on there. So you've got one person who's never heard of it. I guess maybe towards the end of the workshop, or maybe with your other 4 people that are in your team, you need to figure that out because they'll be posting announcements and things like that in the Discord that will be useful for you in during the mini hackathon. The other thing is the Discord has different channels, and one of the channels is a help channel. So you can call for help if you need it through that help channel. It's also a place where you can introduce yourselves to each other. So if the one person who never heard of it before today. Hopefully you've learned how to get on it or something. If not, Nikhil, Victor, or Lucy will help you with that probably after the webinar, or I don't know when they're going to help you, but you need to be on Discord. Don't leave us today if you don't know how to get on Discord. So let's try Google Docs. My prediction is this is going to be a little more uniform. So you love it, you use it sometimes, you don't use it, or you prefer to use something else. Okay, what are we at? It didn't pop up. Oh, there it is. I love it. I love it too. Even though I'm 57, I love it. Use it sometimes, don't use it, prefer a different collaborator. Oh, so whoever that one person is, can you post in the chat, like, what is that tool that's better than Google Docs? We're kind of not allowed to use it at Georgia Tech for official business, but I use it like for other stuff. But if it's official, I can't use it. Is somebody going to out themselves in the chat that there's something else out there that's better? Victor, Lucy, Nikhil, do you know something better than Google Docs? I want to know what that is, if it exists. Okay, let's, Word is definitely not better than Google Docs. Word on Microsoft Teams is sort of close when it doesn't crash, but we're not recording this, right? I'm just kidding. I know we're recording it. Okay, let's try one more time with Canva. I think I'd heard of Canva like a week before I was asked to do this workshop. So Canva, do you love it? You hate it? What is Canva? Okay, love it, hate it. What is Canva? Good. I'm glad 36% of the people were with me with what is Canva. I didn't pre-ask Victor or Lucy or Nikhil, who's the Canva connoisseur. Can you give us a quick, what is Canva? Because we've got 9 of the 25 people don't know what it is.
I think, at least as far as I know, Canva is maybe not the best that we could use, like in terms of like what other kind of software
I
that
put
we
you
could
on the
have.
spot.
No, it's understandable. But I think, I mean, Canva is one of them. But I think Canva is mainly just for helping you create your one pager. But there's also
That's what I was told. That's what I was told, that basically you're going to do your collaboration document in Google Docs. So that's a place where you can easily change it. If I'm going to go take a nap, or if I'm going to, go eat dinner, then somebody else can work on it. And I don't have to worry about, the changes not being there. Or if I don't like the way Victor changed it, I can look at the history, I can change it back, all these wonderful things. But then the Canva makes it look nice. And so I have a student who works with me. She loves Canva. All of her presentations she does in Canva. She's a business major. And so a lot of the things where they're doing pitches and things like that, they'll do it in Canva. And that's what they want you to make your one pager in, that you're going to end up, that's what you're going to submit at the end of the mini hackathon. So how do we meet? You're going to need to meet with your team. Just like students tell me, like they talk to someone and I say, well, tell me again, what did they say? What did you say? They pick up their phone and they say, look, see, here it is. And I'm like, that wasn't talking, that was texting. It's different. So when you say we're going to meet, it means a lot of different things to different people. So one of your first interactions with your team is to figure out how you're going to meet. Are you going to meet in person? Are you going to text? Is texting a meeting to you? Maybe it is. Are you going to use Discord? Microsoft Teams? It's a big bandwidth to use Microsoft Teams, but you're welcome to do that. Is meeting mean you're on a telephone call that is either a real telephone call or a WhatsApp or FaceTime or something like that? Is it a Zoom meeting like we're on now? Is it Blue Jeans? What is it? What other platform? So I think do we have a poll for this, Victor? I think we have a poll for this. So what is your preferred way to meet during the mini hackathon? If it was up to you, how would you meet with your team? In person, texting, on the phone, Zoom, Discord, or something else? Looks like I should have called on Lucy about the Canva, huh? Okay, in person, texting on the phone, Zoom, Discord, other platform. Okay, so it looks like this one, there's a lot of different ideas here. It's going to be very, very important for you to talk to your team about what is it that when you say let's meet, what is it that you mean and what platform will you use? So my question for you to post in the chat is this: cameras on or cameras off? Are you a camera on person or are you a camera off person? Can you post in the chat? Camera on. Depends on my hair. When we were teaching in the pandemic, there was all hybrid, and all the students were dots on my screen. And I'm like, I can't talk to dots. Please come off camera or on camera. Sorry, turn your camera on. Oh, awesome. I'm glad to hear that most of you are camera on people. That's something you also can talk about. Oh, it also depends on someone else's hair. It's interesting. Nobody says it depends on my bandwidth, which is usually what the students blame. Even if it's that they're in their pajamas and their hair is a bad hair day, they'll say, oh, well, I have internet issues. I can't turn my camera on. So just be aware that people are from all over the world. And so they may truly have internet issues. That means they can't have their camera on. It doesn't mean that they're having a bad hair day or they don't want you to see them or something. It could truly be that they have bandwidth issues. So you want to think about that as well. So one of the things you want to do is make sure you set clear expectations, not just around when you're going to meet and what you're bringing to the team, but really what are the expectations of the work that you're going to do. So you're going to have a clear target. You're going to have that goal. You're going to find out on the 12th what that goal is. Although there's a lot of ways you can try to reach that target or that goal, you're going to have a clear target, a clear goal. This is one of the things that sometimes teams lack. They don't know what they're doing or they don't know what the goal is. So lucky for you, not only have we set you up for success with a team that has diverse people on it with diverse things that they're bringing. We also have given you a pretty clear goal, or we will on the 12th, so that you know what you're going for. You want to have a plan of work for the hackathon. And it's usually best if you it doesn't have to be an elaborate plan, but just some kind of plan. Maybe it's a bullet list on a Google Doc. That's perfectly fine. You also want to set time in the meeting for each person. I think Lucy, maybe you said it before, you like everybody to be heard. Set a time in that meeting where you go around in the circle. It might seem a little bit like kindergarten-ish, okay? But you give Lucy a chance to say her ideas and what she's been thinking or what she thinks needs to be found out next to move forward. Then Victor, then Mary Lynn, then Nikhil. Go around the circle and give everybody a chance to talk. If you're a person who you've heard your voice a lot, then maybe you want to not hear your voice and encourage someone else to use their voice. This will help you. Because I think, as Lucy said, everybody has something to contribute and everybody has great ideas. So you want to make sure you get them all on the table. You want to review the task list or the to-do list at at the end of the meeting before you disperse to go do more work. Make sure, especially since you have such a short timeline, that everybody understands what is the task list, what are they expected to do before you come back for your next meeting. And key, you want to set time that you're going to get back together. You can always decide to get back together sooner than that, but please make sure you set a time. Okay, the next time we get together is at this time, in this way, in this sort of meeting, so that you know that. And then talk to your teammates. Again, sorry, I'm pointing out all these things that Lucy said in a very short time, but it all is so relevant. Your teammates, they have ideas and they have experiences that you don't have. Maybe they know about a tool or a practice that you can incorporate in the team that would really make it even better. So the question is, what do you do when planning for success is not enough? And you feel like you're this guy right here pulling your hair out because you have no idea, why did my teammates not do what I expected them to do? Has anybody been in this situation where they've been on a team where some team member did not do what you expected them to do? Nikhil is even smiling about it. Yes. Anybody else in the chat? Has anybody felt like this guy on the picture, or have you caused your teammate to look like this guy in the picture? Possibly, yes. Oh, the instructions were not clear enough. Nice. I like that. I know I'm not alone here. A bit of both. Nice. Okay. So the good news is, I'm a professor at Georgia Tech. One of the things we do is research. And I didn't do this research, but there are people who've done research about why this happens. And we actually know why it happens. And we call that the unreasons, why your teammates don't do what you expect them to do. The people who've done this study have done multiple studies, and it all comes down to these things that are on this slide right here. And I'm going to go through them and explain them very quickly. First one is they're unaware. They don't know what they were supposed to do, or they think they were doing it. Okay, so this might happen. I'm on a team with all the people you see on the screen here, and we say, okay, we're going to come back together at 4:30. No, let's say we're going to come back at 6 o'clock tonight Eastern time, and we're going to talk about all of our ideas that we have. So Victor goes away and he comes back with a list, a bullet list of some of the ideas. Lucy has gone away and she has references for articles that she found and has summarized, and she shows up. And Nikhil actually has written a whole paragraph or two about a topic that's like, oh, we can insert this into our argumentative paper. And I've shown up with this and this. And Nikhil's like, what? Marilyn showed up and she has done nothing, and she doesn't care about our team. And what is she doing? Well, I thought we were supposed to think about it and show up and talk about it. And I am totally ready because I thought about it and I'm ready to talk about it. I thought I did what I was supposed to do. The instructions were not clear, like somebody posted in the chat. We all four thought it was something else that was expected. And we all thought we showed up having done it. So I had no clue that we were supposed to write down anything. I didn't know that. Unskilled, they don't know how to do this. This happens a lot in engineering schools because we've all taken the same classes and we're supposed to know that thing, but sometimes you don't remember the thing. But somebody says, oh, Lucy, you go, you're going to go figure out the algorithm of blah, 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 CS something. And she knows that she learned that in a class and she's supposed to know that, but she doesn't really know it. She doesn't remember it. She goes off. She can't figure it out. She comes back. Oh, well, she hasn't done it, but she certainly, now it's been 2 weeks. She's not going to now out herself that she doesn't know how to do it. And meanwhile, if she just said, I don't really remember how to do that, then Victor could have piped up and said, oh, you know, it's in that such and such a book, and here's the reference, or maybe I should do that part and Lucy, you do a different part. So they don't know how to do it, but they don't tell you they don't know how to do it. They don't believe why they are to do it. So if any of you chose that history, looking back at history, you might be a person who needs to know the context. How did we get here that you think that this job needs to be done? Okay. I don't know what has brought us to this point where this job needs to be done. I don't understand it, so I'm just not going to do that job. Okay. Unimportant. This is the easiest one to understand. Something else is more important. I guarantee you that amongst your 5 people for the mini hackathon, at least one of you are going to have other competing things going on that you need to let people know are a priority. Like today is Mother's Day, and maybe most of you have a mother, and hopefully most of you have made a priority to somehow text or say hello or somehow acknowledge your mother. That should have been a priority maybe for you today. So you're going to have other priorities. You're going to need to eat, right? So you can't spend 12 hours totally working on this project. At some point you have to stop and eat. You're going to have that priority to get some food. Unbelief. This one's weird. I leave it in the way that they said it. It's like the individual beliefs of the individual divergent from the desired behavior. It's like, what is that? Here's an easy way to think about it. Your team chose between A, B, and C. Okay. The team decided to go with A. You know they should have gone with C. And you're just going to wait until they realize that C was the way to go. You're not going to help them go to A. Anybody had this happen to you before? The person just doesn't help you go there because they don't believe you should go there. Okay. And then the last one, is there no consequences for not doing it? This is even heightened even more with the mini hackathon because the work's going to get done in the 12 hours. And if you decide not to actually contribute, there's really no consequences except there's 4 people who are mad at you. In a class, you probably have been in classes where it did not matter that we were for a team, all the people who kind of on the screen, we were a team, and I didn't do anything and we all got an A. Because that's the way the teacher decided to grade us. So the last one is no consequences. So there are ways that you can mitigate against this to make sure that this doesn't happen in your team. One easy way is to ask some questions. So the first one to ask is, what are the next 2 steps that you'll take to move your part of the project or part of the work forward? This lets you know if they understand the direction the team is taking and if their steps make sense. The second one is, what is one thing you need to learn to be able to move this part of the work forward? So if Lucy says, oh, I have to go find out this algorithm so that we can solve this code, and Nikhil knows how that information, he can say, oh, you don't have to go find it. I know it. Let's spend 10 more minutes here and I'll just tell you about it. So asking them what's the one thing they need to learn to move it forward. You may also find out, it's like, Lucy, why do you need to know that? Like, can you tell me more about why you think you need to learn that to move the project forward? Because in my mind, that's not the next thing she needs to like figure out. So if Lucy says, well, oh, this is why, then I can say, oh, now I see why it makes sense. That is going to move our project forward. Or I can help Lucy see that maybe she should learn something else or do something else to move the project forward. We could also have a whole group discussion about it and find out we all thought we were on the same page, but we weren't. And now we can realign so that we're really working towards the same goal. And then the last one is there something going on in your life that hinders you contributing to the work or project? Please, please, please let your teammates know if something is going on in your life in these 12 hours that you're going to be doing the hackathon, so that they kind of know what sort of time commitment and what sort of time limit you have. So with that, what we've done is we've talked about who you are, how you team, what you're bringing to the team. You've thought a little bit about how do you team together. And although I haven't really told you what the topic is, you kind of know what you're doing together. And with that, we'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have. You can post them in the chat or in the Q&A.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions, just put them into the chat. It could be about this workshop, or let's start with the questions about this workshop first, if it's possible, and then we'll take questions about the event. And
So someone's asking if the teams will be changing again tomorrow. Did they change today, Victor?
I don't think the vast majority of teams will not have changed at all. It's mainly teams that have 4 people will be adding, so it's 5 people, so that we don't, so the people who just signed up this today really will have a team. But yeah, tomorrow for sure, like we shouldn't be changing any teams at all, really. You should have the same team that you have today, or the next hour after we add the rest of the people.
Can we get the slides? Yes, you can get the slides. Victor, can you
Yeah,
post them in the chat and see if they can just download them from the chat, or post them on Discord or whatever? I don't mind. You can share them widely.
Great. Yeah, I just shared the slides for anyone who's interested in reading through it. And of course, the recording will also be shared by tonight.
I'm curious, was anybody like attending with your team? Like, do you know if all your teammates are here on this workshop? Crickets.
Sorry, now it's sent. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, you can also ask questions about the mini hackathon itself if you have questions about that, because Victor, Lucy, and Nikhil are all experts on that.
To clarify, so the in-person component starts at 1 p.m. at the event, obviously in Atlanta, and then also it'll be live streamed onto like online for the virtual participants, and then we'll have recordings for people, and it runs until 5 p.m. That's like the in-person component, so it's 4 hours. But the submission, so because it's a hackathon, there is some sort of submission you got to do. That will be at 12 midnight on Thursday, so you'll get 11 hours. But technically, because we have a workshop at the start, really you'll get around 10 hours. And then the workshops will be 1 p.m. on Thursday and 2 p.m. And you should hear more info about the workshops through email and through Discord. Great. Does anyone have any other questions? Again, you could email Caden through the email that he sends daily, or you could post it onto the Discord. We have a question about.
Can an in-person participant be on the same team as an online participant?
Right, good question. So we sent out 2 forms. So there's the virtual form and the in-person form. So people who filled out the in-person form will be paired up or have been paired up with 4 people that are in person, and then the virtual people will be paired up with people who are virtual. So you really shouldn't have in person and virtual on the same team. If that's the case, then you should email Caden really, and then he'll help sort that out. Good question. So would it be possible to get a timeline of all events and deadlines? Yes. We have posted that onto the Discord already in the schedule, but maybe Lucy or someone can copy and paste that.
So I think maybe, well, I'm guessing that maybe Calvin's question about in-person and online was trying to figure out if they could have in-person meetings. So the in-person people should be able to be in person. So you should be able to have a 3D meeting with them where you're all in the same space.
Yeah, absolutely. We suggest you like connect beforehand. Of course, you could meet in person if you want beforehand too.
Oh, that reminds me. Can you post that other document in the chat?
Oh, right.
I
yeah.
forgot to mention that one. We've put together a sheet for you to help you with your team.
What is this? Sorry, I'm just like finding it right now. Okay. Oh yeah, I know where it is. Sorry, this is
That's okay. I'm going to share screen here. So we put this document together to help you kind of work through some of these questions that I asked you to ask your team, because I realized it'd be awkward for you to have to like flip back through the slides to look at all of them. So this is just a guide of things that you should talk about in your team. How will you meet and how often? What collaboration tools besides the 3 that they specified for you? This is just get to know each other. The things that I ask you to do in the session. You're going to make a plan, and then these are those questions, those expectations setting questions. I think I said this earlier. Discord has a help channel. Victor, Lucy, Nikhil, can you comment on what kind of help they can get from the help channel? Because I know you've ran these mini hackathons before.
Yeah, so our Discord actually has 3 help channels. You can ask like an admin about any event related questions. You can ask like a mentor about any like coding and technical or like questions regarding your submissions. And you can ask a speaker if we have our speakers on the Discord channel as well about anything workshop related. So if you need any help, just reach out on the Discord.
yeah, and that's that form. Yeah, does anyone have any other questions?
I hope everybody still is excited or even more excited. I'm excited for you guys. It kind of makes me want to put together a team and attack this problem and come up with a 1-pager. It's very exciting.
Yeah, all right. I think that's 4:03. So thank you for coming, Dr. Ralph. I'm sure like the participants and the people at Atlanta right now are really excited for this event. So we'll see all the participants at 1 p.m. on Thursday. And yeah, thanks again, Dr. Ralph.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Everybody.